Hello everyone! Welcome back to Sekien no Inganock. Oh my, it's been a while. It really has, hasn't it? We've just been so idle and man. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I play visual novels, I really it's a mood thing for me. It's like fleeting whims of when I want to play them and when I don't, and if I'm not in the mood, I can't really play them. And I like, doing stuff justice when I'm recording, so I don't like to go about things half-assedly when I, record stuff. And I think I've said that before on a few occasions at times, but yeah, visual novels, for me, it's really just like a mood, and I happen to be in the mood right now. So, let's continue where we left off, if you all remember that, because I thought we were on Chapter 5, but it turns out we're on Chapter 6. So, that is a thing. Let's begin, shall we? Nighttime. I've finished all of my traveling and healing for today. Dinner was already over. They had a pâte fou. Yeah, I'm not even going to try that. A boiled dish from the northern region of Sekien. As usual, Guy had hardly eaten anything. Kia complained about it with her small voice and puckered mouth. That word, the same one Magdal had spoken a few hours ago. Letter. Kia just whispered that. She pouted, glared, and turned away. That reminded Guy of something. Magdal had never once showed anger towards him. Even on the first day they met, she'd simply been confused. The breadth of her emotions had been fixed at a certain point in her past. That was the impression he got from Magdal. The new drug, Amneral, it certainly was supposed to make people lose their sense of the present. Even if it's only her heart. She and many others depend on that drug. A week ago. In front of the opium den, a child. It was too soon to connect this to anything, at least not without any evidence. Even so, Guy picked up his wireless telecommunications device and opened a recorded circuit with a shortened number. The child in front of the opium den. The boy who said he'd send a letter to someone in the opium den. Magdal said a letter came to her. There was enough evidence to make a connection. It was too close to a hunch. But if the sender of the letter really existed, then the situation changed quite a bit. I have to move. It might not be the child Kia spoke of. The black-clad man appeared in his mind. That man who said he'd kill Magdal. Had he sent her a false letter? At present, I don't know. I can't figure out who sent the letter. If the letter truly existed, then he had to stop her.
Kia, これから少し出かけてくれ。もうこんなに遅いの？君はもうお休み。ルアハとここの留守を頼むよ。キエはいつ帰るの？朝には帰るよ。やり残した仕事があるんだ。
First, he opened Addie's circuit and told her the situation. She told him he was worrying too much, but he ignored it. Guy formally requested a bodyguard for Magdal, then headed to the infinitely crowded street. Stanislaw, who walked along the edge of darkness on the 7th tier, didn't like to talk via telecommunications, so he had to make his request directly. A manhunt. He would request the names of the two Magdal loved. Tonight, or at least before dawn, he would find out where they were. If anyone could do it, it was Stanislaw. He effectively united all the squatters in every corner of Crowded Street. The old turtle's net extended far and wide. Assuming the letter existed, he'd be able to find those three. Magdal, black-clad Kirkin, and the young Platys boy. First, he'd request Magdal's bodyguard. That was his top priority. He couldn't allow her to take any action based on a letter from someone other than Johan. It'd be too dangerous. Then, he'd find the person who sent it. Guy thought of the black-clad man. He would also request the boy, just in case, though the odds of him being involved in this were low. Besides, that all assumed the letter existed. Guy didn't like taking action on a mere hypothesis, but for now it couldn't be helped. This was for Magdal's safety. This city wasn't so nice to a human could live after obeying a false letter. On top of that, Guy's heart was racing. Kirkin's words, only those made Guy uneasy.
お前が巡回医師であるなら、この俺は巡回殺人者だ。お前の真逆だ。あの女が最後の一つを諦めた時、俺はあの女を殺す。
When Kirkin made that judgment, he will kill her. What did he mean by her final hope?
私から依頼しといてなんだけどさ、変なとこで心配性なんだから。引っ越ししないように捕まえとけってなんだかなもう。マゴダルっていうのはそんなにいい女だったとか。
Her mutterings melted into the night air. The black cat was walking through the throng on Crowded Street. She moved quickly, evading countless people, while looking cautiously in all directions. The woman named Magdal, the woman she'd asked to save. The condominium too large for one person to live in. It was roughly 1 hour away from Crowded Street. The woman was no longer there. The worrywart cracking dock had been dead right. She'd disappeared. She'd left only the household goods she was contractually obligated to. There wasn't much there to begin with, no clothes or anything. She'd cleaned the place out. It certainly had felt like the room of a prostitute who'd just moved out. Where did Magdal go? It'd take some time to search for her alone, but it shouldn't take too long. The squatters tied to Sandslaw. She'd used their information net to find out where the woman went. After going from the illegal brothel to Crowded Street to her condominium, the woman returned to Crowded Street. She'd been walking on a busy street 20 minutes ago. That was the last piece of information she got. Magdal should be somewhere around here.
いた、あいつか。
Her golden eye locked on the silhouette 300 feet ahead. She could see her tiger-striped hands and ears, the same features Guy had told her about. Her eyes gave off a strange calmness. Her expression seemed somewhat bright.
あんなところが死んだんだろうね。情が薄い。
No, that's not it. This was brought on by Amenoral. She slipped through the people filling those 300 feet. The black cat spoke to the tiger-striped woman. With an intimate, unwary strength, she softly grabbed her by the arm.
や、見つけた。あなた誰かしら。黒いセールの。おう、初対面。でもヤムンから君のことを聞いてる。まあ、そうなの。ヤムンさんの友達？彼女も近くにいるの？ええ、そう。すぐそこにいるの。
That's a lie. Yaman isn't there.
すぐ近くのエンジン酒場。君の姿が見えたから捕まえてきてって。でも君、大きなカバンを持ってるね。急ぎ？どこか行くの？ええ、そう。遠くへ行くのよ。悪いわね。ヤムさんのお友達のアティ。アティさん。いい名前ね。かわいい響き。ごめんね。酒場には行けない。私は待ち合わせをしているの。急がなきゃ。待ち合わせ？そう。夜明けまでに裁縫工場前のモノレール駅へ行くの。夫がそこで待っているの。
She said that with a bashful expression, but it looked rather bright to the black cat. At the time past 5 a.m., signs of morning began to appear in the lower tiers. In front of the textile factory, there wasn't anyone in sight. There wasn't anyone working. A few hours from now, the road would be filled with laborers, but for the moment, the cold wind merely scattered around bits of dust and smoke. No one was there, other than Guy.
夫が待っているか。死者であるヨハン氏を語るの。それは貴様なのか。ケルか。
The monorail station in front of the textile factory. It would arrive in just over 30 minutes. He stood in the shadow of an engine-type automatic bulletin board. Guy continued to wait. The sender of the letter would likely come here, and he told him so over the wireless. Signs of morning slowly filled the air. The shadows in the empty station were slowly changing positions. He began to hear the twittering of warped birds from somewhere. Still not here. Whoever is still hasn't come. Yeah. Just over 25 minutes remained until the monorail arrived. The warped birds flew away. One silhouette appeared, not a woman's. A man's silhouette. But it's not Kirkin.
なんだ、随分と背が高いと思ったが。人違いか。そこの君。ああ、君だ。ここでプセールの女性を見なかったか？
ああ、見ていない。
そうか。まだ来ていないのか。
誰かと待ち合わせかい？
ああ、待ち人があってね。妻なんだ。今まで随分とまたようやく俺の記憶と僕の体が馴染んだんだ。だから俺は妻を連れて行く。もっといい場所へ行く。暮らしやすくてもっと綺麗な場所へ。
The silhouette wasn't Kirkin. It was a young boy with huge wings. Guy remembered Kia's words. Ah, so that was it. He must have been the one. The sender really did exist.
ここで待つ必要はない。マグダルは来ない。君はヨハン氏ではない。君は誰？彼女をどうするつもりだ？ヨハン氏を語って、彼女を君はどこへ連れて行く？
マグダルと言ったな。何者だお前は。
君が誰かを聞いている。
俺か？俺はヨハンだよ。知っているなら話が早い。邪魔をしないでくれないか青年。誰にも迷惑はかけない。
ヨハン氏はすでに死亡している。君は彼。
俺はヨハンだ。僕はヨハンではないけれど。
何？
確かに俺は一度死んだ。だが俺の記憶はあいつに残っていた。そしてあいつは新たな宿主を見つけた。
宿主だと。
ああそうだ。あいつのおかげで俺と僕は一つになった。俺はヨハンだ。そして僕でもある。邪魔をするなよ青年。悪いことは言わない。人間が誰も俺を止めることはできない。なあ、何度も言わせるの青年。死にたいのか？脅しではないぞ。俺も僕の邪魔をするな。
He was clearly just a young boy, but his gaze felt incredibly sharp. The hair on the back of my neck stands up. I'm shuddering. This happened only a few days ago. A creature. No. That's wrong, Guy. That's something people possess. Only people.
君は何者だ？ここにマグダルは来ない。そして君はヨハン氏ではない。彼女は連れて行かせない。彼女は今も過去と現実を混乱している。これ以上惑わせるな。君の手紙は彼女の狂気を助長する。
邪魔をするなと言ったぞ。俺はヨハンである俺はまだ理性があるわ。僕は理性がまだ幼い。俺も止められない。記憶は馴染んだよね。こればかりは止められない。お前死んでも俺を恨むなよ。
Along with those words, a shadow rose up from behind the boy. A shadow. In the shape of a warped person. A transparent shadow. A steel. It stretches up from behind the boy. At first glance, the black shadow appears to be a human, but in actuality it was horribly warped. A warped humanoid like a glowing cradle with arms. A tough steel body existed there. A single vacant hole. A body that reminded him of the human pelvic bone. The same size as him behind Guy. Was the light that hole actually its eye? A thread extended from what looked like its head and connected to the feet of the boy's shadow. Lazily, slowly, its thread drifted through the air. Kirkin's black shadow had one too. It's not human, and it's not a creature either. The hair on the back of his neck stood up. He shuddered. Guy knew this feeling well. A creature. No, that's wrong, Guy. This is something only people possess. Only people. That's right, Guy. That's bloodlust and animosity incarnate. Something which only people were equipped with. Was that the warped black shadow? Was that the boy's shadow? Its tentacles were attached in places where extremities would normally exist on a human. They writhed as Guy gazed upon the light in its hole.
邪魔をするな。後悔するなよ。僕の邪魔をするな。
忠告はしたぞ。ママは死んだ。だがマグダルは生きている。ママは僕が守る。マグダルだけは俺が守る。ママのようにはさせない。そう、俺はマグダルを守る。
Behind the screaming boy, a fantasy arrived. It truly was the form of a Kikai. Steel which resembled a warped human. On the silent morning at that empty monorail station, a grating of steel rang out. It resembled the music of a string instrument. A body of steel floating high above the boy's back. A body immune to numerous influences. A power which destroyed numerous substances. That which stands behind people. The sole fairy tale of the city of Inganock. It is certainly no monster. He knew. Guy knew the nature of this shudder well. The same sensation as with Sekien. Because this boy and that man were the same. It definitely wasn't terror, nor was it shock. It was a shuddering towards the same power that he himself possessed. It's completely different from the tension brought about by creatures. Yes, this is the same as myself. As he who stands at my back.
美しいものなんざ知ったことじゃない。僕はどうでもいい。俺の望みは一つなんだ。僕の望みも一つ。マグダル、俺が守る。ママは二度と死なせない。
Two voices reached his ears. Both of them were clearly the boy's voice. But there were two different wills within them, an older and a younger voice. The boy continued to emit overpowering bloodlust and animosity, but his voices still spoke to Guy. Was that his entreaty? Was that his warning? Guy was surrounded by a sensation. All of his behavior was being carefully observed. The boy was imploring. Was Guy an enemy to him or not?
君はヨハン氏だというのか。そうだ。そして確かに俺は死んだのかもしれない。僕のママは死んだ。だが俺はマグダルを守る。ママの代わりに守る。
Likewise, Guy had been watching the boy. He, at his back, had also been watching the boy. While listening to the two voices, his sensory abilities surpassed even his phenomenon equation's eye. And then, Guy. Oh shit! It's time to make a decision! Which we will save right here. Aw, yeah. Time to make the wrong choice. Shook his head. I shake my head and close my eyes.
分かってくれたんだ。ありがとう、青年。ありがとう。殺さずに済んだ。さよなら。俺はマグダルを守る。
He heard the boy's two voices. Their wills were identical, yet both in pieces. Because they were human, or because they were Keikai users. Within the darkness, he thought, the reason doesn't matter to me. He couldn't disobey the will hidden within the boy's words, a sensation somehow resembling that of a creature voice. Guy missed his chance completely. The boy had declared that he would protect Magdal. Those words defeated Guy's own will. He couldn't find any reason to stop him. He, at his back, whispered something, but Guy did not move. He kept his eyes closed. He waited for him to leave. The boy's footsteps grew faint.
これでいい。こんにちは。さよ。
The illusion which should have been at the edge of his darkness. He heard the clown's voice once more. He had given up on something. Yet again, so many lives were flowing through his fingers. The end. Oh my golly. Now I do believe it's time to do things right. Would you all not agree? Enter? Yes, okay. It's been a while since I've got a game over screen. Did not remember exactly how to get back there. Anyhow, let's continue and choose the right choice. Guy held out his hand.
君の言葉は理解した。いや、君たちの言葉は
Guy held out his hand towards the shadow rising up behind the boy. A steel-colored hand overlaps Guy's right hand. The right hand of steel tears through the void. Covered in a steel helmet, a single light shining sharply.
君を生かせることはできない。見逃すことはできない。君は神経負荷に耐えきれていない。その機会、君を殺す。だから、僕はその彼を君から切り離す。
He silently extended his right hand forward. He also extended his steel right hand forward, as if tracing a path. It moves. Yes, this thing moves. It actually moves as I will it. Nothing was wrong with his vision. There was no clown. Instead, he knew that there was a fantastic shadow behind him. He extended his steel arm and saw the same things as him. The boy's kikai floating in the air. That which brought about beautiful things for people. Even without activating his equation, he could see it. He wiped out the strain scattered across his nerves. He and Guy glared at the warped steel's core. My right hand. It directs the steel hand as if it were my own. This isn't the phenomenon equation, however. Somehow it feels real. There was something that he at his back could do. There was something that he and Guy needed to do. What must I do with this hand? I know. The same as before. With Guy standing in his way, the boy screamed thrice. Black mist hung over the rising Kikai's surroundings. He could certainly see the power which scattered so many things. Guy's right eye had already captured everything about the Kikai's flexing its tentacles. The monster's name was the pain tormenting this heart. The mist, the destructive power, gushed out of its tentacles. Neither flesh nor steel could touch it without self-destruction. The shadow's tentacles rose up. Their targets were Guy and him. A tentacle wrapped in a power that urges self-destruction. So fast. My eyes can't follow them. Mortal bodies could hardly hope to dodge them, except perhaps for Pucelle's soldiers, with their sharply honed nervous reflexes, or heavy-engine humans with nerve reconstruction. But even if they managed to dodge the tentacles, the power filling them, that space would have made their entire bodies self-destruct. And yet he was alive. Guy still lived. He stood there without even a scratch. In the very air, the mist and tentacles had shattered. He glared at the screaming boy with his right eye. The mist diffused from the shadow into the surroundings, the destructive power which could even erode creatures. And yet he was alive. Guy still had not died. He probably would have died if this had happened not too long ago. But right now, the steel him was protecting Gi. He wouldn't die. Not yet. He focused his mind into his glaring right eye. His right eye saw all of the rampant shadow. All Kikai are indestructible. Physical destruction is impossible. In the case of Oro, the means of destruction is severing the thread to its host. However, the boy's body is already at its limit. The memories brought to him by Oro are destroying the boy's nerves. I can't place any more strain on his nerves. The sole means of destruction is simultaneous pressurization at all locations.
なるほど、確かに。人は君に何もできないだろう。
The boy's Kikai Oro, a tenacious body of steel that wouldn't receive any physical damage. Therefore humans couldn't possibly kill it. The sole means of destruction was severing the thread, that slender thread connecting humans to those fantastic shadows. If he took that away, the Kikai would disappear. No longer would anyone stand behind the boy. But that would hurt the boy. The burden on his nerves brought about by the fantastic shadow was increasing. It would destroy the boy's brain. Guy and him at his back could see everything in the screaming boy. Simultaneous pressurization at all locations. Only that would instantly erase the strain on the boy. However, blades and bullets wouldn't work on a Kikai's body. Therefore humans absolutely could not save this boy. However...
けれどどうやら鋼の彼は人ではない。
My right eye sees, as if coupled with my right hand.
鋼の君、我が機械トルシオン。僕は君にこういう王の体内を打ち砕け。
Shattering to dust, blowing away. A king's hand covered in steel. Those enormous forms destroy even beasts. The iron hands of a fairy tale king. His right hand was steel summoned from an open steel chest. Together, with matter of ultra-high densities, it assaulted Oro's body, destroying the Kikai in an instant. The Kikai was overwhelmed and destroyed by the high-density matter before it even had a chance to scream. Every part of Oro's body was shattered into particles. The remnants of that tremendous beating were left behind. As if blown apart, the vacant monorail station shook. He lost that which stood at his back. The boy lost consciousness and collapsed on the spot. The boy with one body and two voices. The young boy who'd been on the verge of death. His brain had almost been eaten away by the strain of his Kikai, and he had brought about it. Only the brain could not be understood by the phenomenon equation. Without the eyes of him at his back, Guy might have let this boy go. Just for that moment, I didn't feel any lies in this world. The boy had called Magdal his wife. Just now, Guy figured out why.
そうか。君は、あなたは、本当に、ヨハン。
The figure of the boy fallen on the ground. It looked to Guy like the man in his seal cut. the one Magdal had bashfully shown him. A robust giant, a fantastic mutant ogre man with kind eyes. That figure overlapped the small boy's body. Like an illusion, it fell down and faded away. He faded away along with the Kikai Oro. It collapsed, turned to dust, and finally vanished.
死者は記憶を機械に乗せて戻ってきた。
She saw everything, as she fell to her knees. She'd somehow managed to get away from the unfamiliar woman trying to capture her. Now she couldn't make a sound. She'd run so far, using all of her speed as a pucelle. When Addie had seriously tried to hold her down, Magdal clawed her arm and ran away. Desperately, all this way with all of her strength. He was waiting. Johann was waiting for her at the monorail station. She believed that as she held her breath and ran. That woman had chased her with frightening agility, and somehow she'd managed to mix in with the throng on infinitely crowded street. Running all the way to the monorail station. I can see the station from this back alley. And then she saw it. Magdal laid eyes upon it. She definitely saw the form of Johann disappearing. After being shattered into pieces by giant fists, Magdal clearly saw it. That sensation, as if the air was grinding. She felt it from her husband when he was alive. But now those fists pummeled him. All which had composed Johann simply vanished. Almost as if he'd never been here. Not a single particle left.
これから会う。そうだわ。引っ越ししなくちゃ。私また上に来るから彼が来てくれるんだから。
She staggered weakly, but still stood. She then looked up to find a single darkness. Who was it? It was a silhouette. She could see a black form. Magdal recognized it. That man's shadow. The man closer to death than anyone else. Within the rain. Smoking purple fumes dulled by 1,000 different colors. He slid out from the back alley darkness. Magdal didn't recognize his face, but she recognized the presence surrounding him. Her husbands and sons remained held to it as well. She could see a black shadow behind the man. It reminded her of him at Johann's back.
この俺とこの鎌を呼び寄せたのはお前だ。インガノックにある限り、誰にも幸福など訪れない。今こそ安らかなる死の吐息に抱かれよ。
そうなの。そういうことか。夫は死んだ。あの子も死んだ。倒れたからあれもきっと私の子。二人ともまた死ぬ。まだ。レイ、そうだったのね。私には待ってくれている人がいる。お願い死神さん。私が待っていたならきっとあなた。私をそこへ連れて行って。もう私はここでは生きていけない。
願いは聞き入れられる。お前は都市から解放されるだろう。安らかな死に。
静かに私は待っていたし、引っ越し先は誰にも言えそうだ。さようなら、インガノック。誰でも会える。愛しいあなたたち。さようなら。私の愛したすべて。
And then, Magdal disappeared from the opium den. No missing persons report was filed at city management. Only applications from registered family members could be accepted. That was management's answer to Yaman. Magdal disappeared, but even now her name tag remained in the opium den. Kirkin's face and words still stuck in Guy's mind. Did her disappearance mean she'd died? Had his blade taken Magdal's life? Had she given up on something? The woman that the boy had tried to protect. Had she been killed? Or...
はい、じゃあこれで書類も全部かなっと。引き渡し書と市民一条預かりの証明書ね。君も忘れ物はない？よしは。持てる荷物は全部持っていかないと損だよ。ま、これからいろいろもらうだろうけどさ。ありがとう。お姉ちゃん、あとおじちゃんも。おじちゃんだってさ、いいおじさん。
ああ
The boy, Joshua, was laughing. His expression seemed strange now that it no longer held any malicious intent. This must have been what the boy originally looked like. The boy who collapsed. The search request Guy had made of Stanislaw. He learned that the boy had lost his mother. And one other thing. He was an orphan who ran away from his foster mother. Guy understood. That man's memories had mixed with the boy's, with those of the Kikai manifesting behind him.
でもあれだね。すっかり治ってるみたいでよかった。うん、いいの。こっちの話さ。里親に聞かれたらちゃんと説明してよ。はい、説明する。クラッキングドッグのギーおじさんに直してもらった。そういうこと。じゃあ元気でね。うん、さよならお姉ちゃん、おじちゃん。バイバイ。
さようなら、ヨシア君。
The young boy waved his hand and ran down the corridor. Short boy's legs, not that fast. His foster mother could be seen in the center of the city's skyscraper corridor. An old lady with a calm face. She didn't look the type who'd abuse him. Even so, he'd probably be forced to perform excessive labor in order to keep the old lady from being executed by city law. That boy would have to perform 2 persons' worth of economic activity. That was how the city worked. There were no foster parents who'd taken a child out of love. Even so, the boy was smiling. He left management's foster parent re-registration desk. He was holding his foster mother's hand.
なんだろう。病気にかかってたようには見えないね。急に性格が変わって、家族がどうとか妻がどうとか叫び始めて、里親の家から逃げ出しちゃったんだっけ？クラッキングってそういうの直せたんだっけ？
Addie poked her head with her fingers. She looked up at Guy when she asked.
どうだったかな。ともかくあの子はもう治っているよ。
そうなんだ。
あ、
あのさ、こんなおとぎ話があるの知ってる？世にも珍しい機械付きのおとぎ話。そもそも機械が珍しいけどさ、死んだ機械使いの魂がその機械に残ったまま次の機械使いに乗り移るんだって、そういうおとぎ話。でもおとぎ話だよね。
Addie couldn't ask anything more than that. She just gazed at the boy walking away, waving with one hand and holding the old ladies with the other. After a while, she spoke again.
私がさ、もし一番大切な人を失ったらどう思うんだろう。死にたいとか消えたいとか思うのかな。あのメロールに手を出して。
僕が止めるよ。君にドラッグは似合う。
おうおう、それは無理。
As she waved to the boy disappearing down the corridor, Addie whispered softly, so that Guy couldn't hear her. Softly, softly. Because Guy is the one that she loves!
私は誰にも弱みを見せない。どんな時でも毅然と、どんな時でも自分が何者かを忘れない。下級貴族たちの羨望の眼差しの前でも、社交界のお礼に身を浸している時でも、いつでもそう。私は伯爵の娘。センケンネルの名が私の背中にかかる。どんな些細なミスも許されない。私の言動すべてがいつも試される。都市の支配層である上層貴族の中にあって、センケンネル伯爵の名前はあまりにも大きい。だから私は都市運営を円滑に進めるための優秀な頭脳、上位貴族らしき品格を指し示す言動と教養、それが私のすべて。故に私にはあらゆる力が与えられる。都市運営を左右する権力も隅々にまで力を及ぼす財務。そうして私は生きてきた。そうして私は育てられた。だから私は知らないのだ。だから私は何もできないの。巨大都市論も貧困法制な言動も意味がない。1シリングの価値もない。私は誰にも弱みを見せない。だから誰も私を助けてくれない。誰も彼を助けてくれない。私が何よりも大切に思っている彼を、センケンネルの名に一切関わらない彼を誰一人助けてくれない。どうすればいいのかさえ教えてくれない。誰も私に与えてくれない。だから誰かお願い、助けて。彼のために何ができるのかを教えて。
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The sound of a clock, the sound of a clock. Is it time, is it time, it continues to call. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The second hand moves. It stops, pointing right at 0 o'clock. It is a pocket watch of white silver. It is a pocket watch carried by one man. The golden spiral staircase towers into the darkness. The man standing at the foot of it is none other than the silver watch's owner. With his master in the corner of his eye, continuing to climb the golden spiral staircase, the man continues to gaze at the watch. Motionless, the man continues to gaze at the watch and speaks. Like a chrome-built, machined-wound doll in an inorganic voice.
時間だ。青年は勝利の塔を登らない。我が主、これより収穫に入ります。彼はあなたの望みを叶える逸材たるか。主、あなたの望んだ時が来た。助けは来ない。収穫の時は未だ妨害されたことがない。我らの生贄はどの程度に扱う。せめていいや、
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Oh man. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do a save here. And I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end things right here for this episode of Sekien no Inganock. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter than the previous ones, but I think we're at a good point to stop. I mean, we're now in chapter 7, I do believe. And that marks a really important moment, because that happens to be the halfway mark. Chapter 6 out of, the 12 chapters total that there are in Sekien no Inganock. So, whether we are halfway through, or we're through more or less, depending upon the length of each chapter, that's yet to be decided. I'm going to go ahead and go to the main menu here so we don't accidentally spoil things that I'm not reading. But yeah, so, stuff. But if we look at the extras here, we go to the CG gallery. we can probably see how much we're missing. We're missing at least 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. Or Kikai, I guess. Maybe some more if these are, well, a few more here, I guess. Yeah. A couple more there. A bunch of scenes here with people and things, you know. Anyway, we will continue with the next video. And we'll begin Chapter 7, going down that route. Chapter 7, a death. Oh, no, that's Chapter 8, my bad. Chapter 7, a voice, even if it does not reach you now. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Until then,